Here's a quick look into the psychiatric character assassination made on me by Dr. Claus Fontenay on the 10th of April 2013. Video footage from this meeting you'll be able to see that he made this evaluation to cover up and falsely label me as a psychotic paranoid conspiracy theorist, all in the name of national security, to cover up the it concept. And throughout this preview I'm going to show you he constantly makes mistakes that proves that he too has been watching and listening to me and the fraudulent cunts over the it concept communication system. I have marked the clearest mistakes with an oops. And therefore he has made his diagnoses on false pretenses for the sole purpose of protecting the fraudulent cunts and their many minions that have attempted to have me committed by using COINTELPRO methods and techniques to have me act out in an inappropriate way. And when all these daily attempts have failed, they have gone to the next method of lies and deception, to write falsely observations and make unofficial commentary from the fraudulent cunts over their system official in the different journal reports, as a way of being able to cover up and make up for their many failures, which have all left a long trail of evidence of absolute strangers having first-hand knowledge of what is supposedly only going on in my very imaginative, conspiracy-minded imagination. And yet so many people around the world are able to regurgitate from what is shown and told over this system, and the many people who have physically participated in the harassment campaigns against me. I don't know about you, but I think this so-called Dr. Claus Fontenay is the one who is being paranoid, and not only that, delusional if they think this is going to hold up anywhere, especially when most of you know my intentions is to completely expose the whole it concept for what it is, an absolute atrocious, fraudulent, corrupted propaganda machine built up on false pretenses, fake purposes, where I'm supposedly under investigation for heinous pedophilic crimes, but yet all their actions tell a different story, which this psychiatric character assassination also proves. Something the doctor also makes a big mistake by saying and trying to cover it up. Oops, doctor, but you see this for yourself and much more.
Jamen altså folk de forveksler ikke informationer sammen nødvendigvis, men de får de samme informationer fra det samme sted, ligesom alle andre gør. Rygterne? Nå, er det ikke? Nej, det tror jeg nok, at man skal regne med. Se, nu kommer vi også ind på et sted, hvor jeg nemt kan blive miskrediteret via psykiatrien, fordi det her det er så usædvanligt og uhørt om før, at det aldrig nogensinde ville kunne have foregået sådan her på i den tid jeg nogensinde har hørt om. Så det er igen en belastning for mig at sidde og lukke de her informationer ud, fordi at det kan være noget jeg kan blive miskrediteret igennem psykiatrien med. Nej, men det kan du jo sagtens sidde og sige jo, og om man vil typiskvis, jeg kunne sagtens fortælle en masse informationer, som jeg vil få et stempel på med det samme, om du må jo være paranoid, du må jo være skizofren, du må jo have vrangsforestillinger, fordi det er sådan nogle ting her, der er uhørte om før, der ikke er et stort kendskab for. Nej, jeg er ikke bange, men jeg tænker, hvad er min bedste interesse? Min bedste interesse, det er at høre, hvor kommer de her informationer fra? Hvor kommer, som du kaldte dem, rygter? Jeg kalder dem så beskyldninger og latterliggørelser og bare rent krænkende informationer, som der ikke er passende på min personlighed, som bliver givet for de her forskellige grunde, for at jeg skal blive udstødt, for at jeg skal blive miskrediteret, for at jeg skal få nogle diagnoser ud for nogle informationer, der er kommet på uberettiget vis på falske begrundelser. Og du kan jo også regne ud, jeg vil jo ikke sidde og sige sådan her, og du kan jo se og høre, at jeg er klar over, hvad for en position de kan putte mig i. Men jeg siger dem, fordi det er sandheden, jeg siger dem det, fordi at det er fakta, det er ting, der ikke kan debatteres. Og det er det, jeg kæmper med. At finde ud af, hvor stammer det her fra. 100%.
Fører du så nogle retssager mod de steder der PUC?
Retssager? Nu var jeg jo inde på et tidligere anmeldt. Jeg tror ikke, det hjælper noget at anmelde noget i den her situation her. Men som jeg var inde på, jeg lukkede ud i kort tidligere, at jeg har en sag kørende, fordi at der kom falske informationer i min journal, som der ikke er kommet fra mig, som har stor belastning for så mig personer med personlig karakter.
Er det en journal i kommunen?
Ja.
Og der er kommet falske informationer fra
der er kommet et overlagt karaktermord. Og det er så det, at jeg vil bevise i retten.
Hvad er det for karaktermord?
Jamen, nu har jeg jo siddet og forklaret dig nogle informationer her.
Det er noget helt konkret.
Fuldstændig konkret.
Det er noget, jeg har til det.
Jamen, det er jo det, jeg sagde før, at det var yderst mærkværdigt, at du ikke har de her informationer. Ja, men det er jo det, jeg siger, der er mærkeligt. Jeg siger ikke, at jeg ikke tror på, hvad du siger. Jeg siger, det er mærkeligt, at du ikke har de her informationer.
Ja, egentlig jeg har fået fra det på ekspert kommune.
Men de er jo selvfølgelig selv klar over det, da det er noget, jeg har hørt ad med dem, inden jeg har taget det til det videre til det næste skridt. Og det reflekterer så også lidt her, at du ikke har de papirer.
Let's take a look at the conclusion of the evaluation. As you see, this so-called doctor has found a way to come up with a mental illness question for all the different scenarios occurring in the its concept. Let's take a look at the most serious. I'm supposedly paranoid, and the paranoia is based on conspiracies against me via false rumours spread to discredit me, and people wanting to fight me so that I'm alienated from society. So when you look at this from a real life perspective, he's pretty much on target, except all of this only going on in my mind. The next thing he writes that he supposedly asked me in the interview if I experience thought influences or hallucinations. He goes on to write that I denied having any of these experiences. The thing is, I do experience both of these very disturbing phenomenons induced by the technological system that goes under many names. The point of this, he made these statements on my behalf, is that when I one day have the opportunity to be heard in court, preferably, then there is documents saying that I didn't experience these things, which are the main way of propagating everything that goes on in the its concept. Makes me out to be unreliable and further discredited, seemingly by myself. Next point, he writes that my personal structure is characterized as mistrustful and inventions of conspiracy theories, and I bear a grudge, preoccupied with revenge and going to court, and incapable of compromise, and have black and white thought process. Yeah, I don't trust many people anymore, that's for sure, but under the circumstances this would be characterized as a normal reaction when you time after time get stabbed repeatedly in the back. Inventions of conspiracy theories? No, I don't invent. I only point out the facts and try to expose that this is not a theory but a real life conspiracy determined to have me locked up, killed or suicided. Do I bear a grudge? Yes indeed, for good reason. Towards the fraudulent cunts and the people in power letting these absolute lunatics get away with this diabolical madness. Do I want to go to court? Damn right I do. It's the only place for a thing like this to be trialled. Am I incapable of compromise? Not at all. But when it's about me having my life robbed and disgraced for the whole world to see, never can I compromise with my life and well-being. Black and white thought process? Not quite sure. Where do you determine if one's thoughts are black or white? It's a definition question or comparison question. The point for the day that he writes, treatment for this diagnosis is going to be difficult because of gaining treatment alliances with me. I have no insight in my own situation and I don't have the ability to get this special insight, and the total prognosis for the patient, me, being connected to the education system or job market without having heavy problems is deemed hopeless for the foreseeable future. Right, this one's going to be fun. Yeah, I imagine treatment for imaginary illness is impossible to cure, especially when the whole it concept has absolutely nothing to do with my well-being, physical or psychological, but has everything to do with a system that has been set up on a worldwide scale for political control. Treatment alliance with me? Let's break this one down too. What he's really saying is that it seemed highly unlikely that they can make me one or two things. One is to brainwash me to think that everything that has been going on for the last 2.5 years has just been my imagination. Two is for me being up for pretending that everything is just my imagination. Either way, they are shit out of luck, because there's no way on earth that I would ever form an alliance with fraudulent, corrupted scum of the earth. Me not having insight in my own situation is like saying I'm delusional for being a realist and having the courage and willingness to fight back no matter what the outcome may be. If you take the meaning of what this so-called doctor is actually saying, that I'm mentally ill because I'm not prepared to sacrifice my life for the fraudulent cunts and their endless lies and deception, and not willing to accept their rewrite of my whole life in their virtual reality fabrications. Me being connected to the education system or job market without having heavy problems occurring. No, problems will most definitely occur because of the constant demonization and people being dictated to harass and provoke me, to cause an inappropriate reaction from me, to give them justifications to have me locked up. And this is also done so that I'm isolated and alienated from society, because things are getting so much more obvious and more people are waking up and realizing it's not all about me and these so-called accusations. And that is something they don't want people to be focusing on. They want you to believe that everything they say and show is the reality you need to believe in. So therefore, if I'm amongst other people, it makes their different stories so much harder for people to believe in, because I am not what they are accusing me of being in any way, shape or form, and that is something that they can never change. So it's easier for them that I am not anywhere to be seen or heard from, and this is what the gatekeeper of a doctor realizes, so therefore he has robbed me from this right as well. Let's go back to the interview with Dr. Claus Fontenay, which only gets more absurd and ludicrous. And don't forget that this has been watched live by millions of people, and they still had the nerve to pull this one off. That is what you call insane.
Men hvorfor så vil jeg godt høre det. Hvorfor er det, du vil give mig medicin?
Det vil så være ud fra, nu vil jeg godt lide min mening, men jeg vil jo opfatte dig som lidt paranoid.
Paranoid?
Ja. Men jeg vil opfatte dig som en person, der altid har følelse af at blive bagtid.
Ja.
Altid har følelse af at blive rettet falske.
Falske?
Ja.
Okay. Det er da godt, at du...
Jamen, altså,
det er jo godt, du siger sådan, fordi jeg tror, der er utrolig mange folk, der er uenige med dig.
Ja, nu forstår du mig med falske.
Så på den måde kan man igen se, hvordan det her det afspejles.
Ja, altså, når nu misforstår du mig med falske, altså du mener, de beskyldninger, folk kommer til dig.
De er falske, men det er jo ikke den opfattelse, folk har, ellers vil de jo ikke gå med til de her forskellige ting. Og det er jo lige præcis derfor, at det er nødvendighed for mig at komme til bunds i det her. Og du kan jo sagtens sidde og sige, at jeg er paranoid, og jeg har en følelse af, at alle folk bagtaler mig og kommer med falske rygter. Men altså helt ærligt, lad os være ærlige her, og så se på det for, hvad tingene er. Så er det jo ikke en følelse, jeg har, men det er jo faktisk nogle ting, der forekommer. Og når det ikke går så godt for de forskellige steder, hvor tingene forekommer fra, så er det, at der kommer sådan nogle informationer her på mig, fordi at det skal se ud som om, at det er mig, der er skurken. Mens det egentlig bare er mig, der sidder i en usædvanlig og fuldstændig unormal situation, hvor folk bliver nærmest står i kø for at blive involveret.
Ja. Jo, men det jeg siger til det er, at det måske i en kamp skulle måske oplevelsen lettere for dig, så du måske ikke længere bruge så meget tid, du måske ikke længere er så forpint eller irriteret over, at det er som det er.
Jamen, jeg vil da ikke noget, jeg hellere vil. Jeg vil være ved mit fulde 5, hvis jeg står i en kamp, hvor det handler om, at mit liv skal blive noget værd, og skal blive værdifuldt, og skal have de livskvaliteter, som jeg engang har haft, så skal jeg da ikke være dopet på et eller andet medicin, og bare være i en eller anden verden, hvor det hele bare kører forbi udenfor. Aldrig i livet.
Ja, jeg spørger dig også på, og det skriver jeg også, at du ikke ønsker noget for.
Nej, aldrig.
Det er jo fair, og det er ikke noget, vi skal trække ned over hovedet på, det er ikke drømme om det.
Nej, men det er jo bare, nu når jeg er færdig med informationer, og jeg siger jo psykiatrien, ligesom i Rusland brugte man jo psykiatrien til at spærre inde på folk inde med i gulags. Jeg siger ikke, at Danmark er sådan, men jeg siger, at det kan psykiatrien blive brugt til, og bliver brugt til, af og til. Det er du nok uenig med mig i.
I hvert fald er der andre, der dikterer, hvem vi skal spærre inde. Det er jo uenig.
Ja, men det er jo heller ikke engang en kommentar, jeg er kommet med her.
Nej, men hvis det er det, du mener, at andre bliver brugt som til
Jamen, det tror jeg, der er mange folk, der er uenige med dig i.
Det kan også godt være.
Men det er jo ikke noget, jeg har bragt på bordet her, at jeg har sagt sådan. Men som jeg siger mine informationer, så stiller du netop den op på den måde, at det er mig, der har den ene og den anden slags følelse og tro.
Jeg tror, du misforstår mig, når jeg mener med følelser. Det er følelser, du oplever din krop, hvordan verden reagerer.
Det er ikke så meget, hvordan verden reagerer over for mig, men hvordan verden reagerer over for de informationer, folk får.
Ja.
Så man sådan set sige, det er informationerne, der sådan set ødelægger det for mig. Ja. Ikke på den måde, hvordan jeg er på. Men
de er historier, der stadig sådan
historier?
Altså de informationer.
Jeg har ikke skrevet nogen historier.
Nej, der er jo nogen, der har skrevet en historie om dig.
Jamen, der er helt sikkert, at der er nogen, der har bygget en fiktiv karakter op af mig. Ja. Og den fiktive karakter passer på ingen som helst måde med, hvem jeg er som person, og hvad jeg har lavet i mit liv, og hvad jeg har gjort i mit liv.
Er det så sådan, at folk er formidlet til, at nu når du kommer på ude på det siden, så fordi de har den historie, eller det fiktive historie, det for at de er formidlet til,
Nej, det blev lidt for indviklet for mig. Den kunne ikke lige helt forstå den der.
Er vi jo set før du startede, at vi havde fået informationer om?
Jamen jeg siger, at tingene minder alt for meget med anden. Tingene lugter alt for meget af informationer, der stammer det samme sted fra. Hvordan folk de fortolker de forskellige informationer, det ved jeg ikke.
Did protons and electrons create the earth? Or did Allah meditate and create his birth? Is every day in this place a curse? Or should I pray on my knees and embrace his dirt? I don't know if there's a reason I'm here. I think the only thing that's driving me is reason and fear. And seeing death to me conceivably near. So I don't give a fuck what you think about me reaching for beer. I don't worry anymore about what my friends do. I have a more urgent matter to attend to. Is there something there bigger when I die and vanish? That weaves everyone and everything into a canvas? I'm not smart enough to think I have a resolution. I'll never be a man with mediocre constitution. My pop told me that blood and power intoxicate, and that tyranny is a product of his father's hate. Yeah.
Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
I recognize the guilt and the sins of the father, and recognize what's built and what stems from the author. Understand, man is not a machine. He needs a purpose and a purpose and a reason for being. Either way, I'm gonna stick with my fam, regardless if that's a dream of a ridiculous man. and I'm becoming more indifferent every day. So naturally all of the feelings are faded away. Some of the things that I said I hated to say, but blame yourself, motherfucker, you made it this way. I don't think I would, even if I was able to stay. I don't think you could, I would sit to the angels and pray. But everybody gotta deal with they self. If they cut another throat for the material wealth. If it's a problem, are you man enough to deal with the hell? Or are you destined for the darkness of concealing yourself?
Run on for a long time.